Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Colin Ledbetter, and this is the Built Different podcast. In studio with me today, I have John Schutte. I'm going to let him introduce himself. So go ahead, John.
Yeah, so as Colin said, John Schutte. I've known Colin now probably, 6-7 years now. I
Yeah.
was in the National Guard with him. Caught back in Effingham County on the Sheriff's Office. Prior to that, with the Guard, I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years right after high school. And
Effingham County, Illinois.
yes.
Close to where I live back home. With the Marines, did you have any deployments?
2. Yep.
Okay.
2000, I want to say it was 2012, we went to Afghanistan. And then 2000, I think it was 14 to 15, we went to Okinawa, Japan, Thailand, and Tokyo.
Okay. So you're in Effingham County. Let's talk a little bit about your day to day there. What's just a normal day look like for you?
So right now I'm on day shift. We switch every 6 weeks, 12-hour shifts, so every other weekend off. So 1 week we'll just work like a Wednesday, Thursday, and then that long week, I guess you would say, would be a Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It just rotates like that. Like I said, every 6 weeks we switch days and nights, 6 to 6. Got promoted to sergeant a couple months ago. Canine handler as well. We run 3 to a shift, 2 minimum on the SRT team, which would be like SWAT for some places, and then I think that's about it, honestly, for specialties and stuff like that. So,
What's life look like as a canine officer?
busy,
Yeah.
but it's awesome. I enjoy it. I'd like to do another dog, but we'll see. That's up to the admin, really. It's like raising a kid, really. But yeah, no, it's great. He's dual purpose, so he's narcotic and apprehension.
Yeah.
A lot of training into it.
How does that work? I know like some departments, do they supply like all the supplies and everything needed to take care of the dog? Is that?
Yeah. So our community is actually like real supportive. So a lot of our dogs that we get are through donations. So a lot of people donate to our fund. Like our dog food is free from FS. They donate a bag or 2 bags a month. Just pretty much whatever we need. Like his pen that he lives in, the concrete was donated. The fence was actually hand-me-down from a previous handler. The doghouse was donated. So everything's been donated. I added a few things, like I bought him a heater for the winter and stuff like that. But other than that, everything's basically donated. Equipment's all bought for by the sheriff's office. If I want something more gear fitting for me, I'd obviously pay for it myself usually. But
Yeah. Well, that helps out a lot, definitely. I didn't know how that works. You're raising a kid, you don't get funded, so I didn't know how it worked when you're raising a dog.
It's a lot of time. So I spend a lot of time with them. I miss a lot of family functions just to get my hours in training, but it's another hobby for mine. Like I enjoy it too much to not do it, really. And like I said, my wife understands, and bless her heart, with it too. So
I guess that you're kind of already touching on another topic I was gonna hit. How does the career affect your family life? You kind of mentioned that a little bit, with extra training and stuff that you have to do. But if you want to,
So yeah, I love like the police side. It affects a little bit. With how today's society is and stuff like that. There's always a war on the police. Once we start getting ahead of a thing, somebody does something that makes us all look bad. I miss a lot of family functions here and there. I miss weddings of friends and stuff like that. I almost work every Christmas, but it's just part of the job.
I always liked working Christmas, though.
I don't mind it. I got a real supportive admin.
Yeah.
When I first started at the county, they told us don't, you're gonna stay home unless we get a call. So they're real supportive. So we do got that. So it does take a toll a little bit. On the military side, with the guard and stuff, with that last deployment and stuff like that, even though it was different compared to my first 2, with just a family life, it's 10 times. It was 10 times harder
having the kids and
and that's the thing. you know, everybody thanks us, for doing what we do, but no one takes time to like thank your wives, your girlfriends,
family,
your
yeah.
spouse. My wife, she had to do all the work.
Yeah.
She had to get the kids to school, get them to and from baseball practices, wrestling, basketball, whatever it may be. And, and at that time, she's still going to school full time. So, she's balancing her school and then working full time on top of that, plus, getting the kids, from school, extracurricular activities, and, the parents involved and stuff like that. So, they have the hard part, in my opinion. And then even on the my job, so like, even when I'm in the guard and I was working with the sheriff's office, they can't just fire you. By law, they can't and stuff like that. So, they're down a person for a shift the whole time. So, they have to balance that out too. So, a lot of thanks goes to the people back at home during all that.
Yeah, that's definitely a good point. I feel like the family kind of gets left behind in all of that, especially.
Oh yeah, you know how it is. Look back what we did, like eat, sleep, and work out, like for 10 months. Like we didn't do anything. And
and and your wife's back home running around, probably trying to get the kids everything.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely.
The money was good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, the money was nice, but everything else was, yeah, absolutely. I definitely understand that. So as a young officer early on, I'm sure this kind of happens in everyone's career, but you probably had some old officers that kind of taught you the ropes. So what were some of the early on do's and don'ts that you learned?
Don'ts. Big thing is just integrity. Keep your integrity the whole time. If you mess up, own up to it. Don't try to hide it. And that's been how I was taught my whole life. Just everybody makes mistakes, and just own up to it when you mess up. Do's. Always seek to better yourself. They're not going to hand it to you. If you want something, you're going to have to go after and get it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely that first comment about the owning up to mistakes is definitely a big part of the job. I think that's what starts a lot of officers down the path of getting in trouble.
Oh yeah. Well, you see like we mentioned beforehand, the news and stuff like that. They depict us sometimes as the bad guys, and sometimes we are made out that way just because of dumb decisions. But people are worried.
There's bad cops, yeah,
and they're worried to be put in that situation. But if it's not unmoral, unjust, or unethical, just own up to it. And take your punishment and move on.
That's the big thing, and I think across the board, there's bad people in every job, every gig. Not one cop's gonna be perfect in everything we do. So I think that's a big thing is as a young cop, especially learning to own up to your mistakes and not trying to start down the road of learning how to cover them up.
Oh yeah, and that's going back on the dudes that like everybody's hungry at first. They want to conquer the world. If it is K9, SRT, school resource officer, whatever it may be, whatever the career path is. But they also need to learn. I tell my guys, I'm a FTO officer as well, so I train a lot of the newer guys that comes through, and I tell them a lot. Take time off because it is fun. The job is a blast, but you're gonna burn yourself out.
Yeah, I think that's definitely an important thing, especially, with family and stuff. Me as a young officer, I would sleep in my car at the station.
Oh yeah,
I'd work.
Oh yeah,
16 hours to go sleep in my car. And
before working in Effingham, even when I moved to Effingham, I was working in a smaller police department, 6-man department, and I'd sign up for every overtime shift there is. There'd be days I'd work 15 days straight. It's like at the end of the day, it's like what for? I did for a couple $100. I miss like I said, weddings, birthdays, family functions just to cover shift. And if they need it, they need it. But at the same time, you gotta make time for yourself. And there was a part there, and recently, like where I was burnt out. Like it was just like, it's fun, but at the same time, it's like I really don't care to do much at work. I don't care to go to work. But
how did you get over that?
Honestly, I just kind of started doing my own thing, really.
Yeah.
I kind of, hanging out, with, just not my typical like work friends, just my old friends I'd hang out with, stuff like that. And, just doing like hobbies. And then start just, going back to, I guess you'd say the basics. I mean, instead of trying to, hit the big load or, a big good stop, just go back to, I guess you'd say like fundamentals, like get back into the groove of little things really.
I think you definitely hit on something. Having a hobby. It's a big thing that comes up a lot. I don't know if I didn't really have one whenever I was an officer, but I could definitely see where eventually that would have been needed to plug into my career. Yeah. What is some of the things that you kind of do outside of?
So I used to work out a lot. I've been kind of lazy for months now. I haven't started that New Year's resolution yet. But yeah, so summer, we're a big boating family, so we're out on the lake all the time. Big into hunting. Yeah, that's about it. Mostly those two. And then I like snowboarding, snow skiing, but around here there's just nowhere to go. So I mean that's kind of a trip in itself. But stuff like that, and now I'm helping my 8-year-old. He does wrestling, and I enjoyed wrestling when I was a kid, even in high school. So I help coach that. So that's a big. I enjoy it because that was my sport growing up.
Yeah.
So I mean that's just another hobby I like to do is just help coach.
Yeah.
And it's just something to get your mind away. I think a lot of people that's that's some issues a little bit, like they don't get keep work there, decompress,
Yeah.
get away from it. Still hang out with your work buddies, but just don't talk about work.
Do you have like a routine, getting off of work, like turning off your mind?
Yeah, when the kids go to bed.
Yeah.
No, it's hectic. Yeah, we're busy. So I mean, it's like I said, we work 6 to 6, so 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Usually I get off if the kids are, we have one in basketball, one in tumbling. She's in dance and tumbling. The other one's in wrestling. So I mean, we're running. Luckily a lot of the basketball games and stuff like that are on weekends, but even then, it's practices here or there. Yeah, once they go to bed, put them to bed about 8:30, 9 o'clock. That's finally when it's like, yeah. By then I'm just so tired. I just go to bed.
Yeah. So we kind of been on the kid topic a little bit. Would you recommend this when your kids get old enough? Would you recommend this to your kids, this career? I guess that kind of goes for both. So, would you want them to go to the Marine Corps?
Yes. I mean, no. I don't. It's weird. So my path I took, like I said, I went to the Marine Corps after high school, but I've always wanted to join the branch of service of some sort. So, that helped me get into the police force. So I did, my 4 years before I actually got out, completely out. I was already signed up to go through, at that time, the part-time academy. So it helped me get my job. And then it's helped me throughout, getting to where I want to go back into Effingham County, where I wanted to work. And then, the National Guard's helped too.
Yeah.
Would I want them to do it? On the dad side, no. Because, those are my kids. And you've been through it, I've been through it. You dealt with the people on the police side, even on the military side, the safety for my kids, no. I don't want them to do it.
Yeah.
Now, if they came to me and said they wanted to join the military or stuff like that, then, I'd be supportive. But
yeah.
I wouldn't talk them out of it, but I'm definitely not going to push the issue. Dad and me, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But, if they want to.
You at least got to prep them, for the military side, tell them how many stupid people they're going to meet in the military.
Yeah.
You have some lifelong friends, but man, do they scrape the bottom of the barrel sometimes.
So, yeah, it's... we'll keep professional and won't go into detail, but yes, 100%. But no, if they wanted to, like I said, I'd be supportive. Dad's side of me, absolutely not. I don't want them to do something less stressful and make a little bit more money. But I think out of all my kids, I think one may follow my path. He just acts just like me, but we'll see how that goes. He's already mentioned, he's like, I want to be a cop like you, Dad. I'm like, how about like a firefighter?
You get to sleep at work.
Yeah, like they look way happier. So,
do you have some favorite times on the job, and we can relate this back to the sheriff's office and the military.
Yeah. So we'll start with the police side a little bit. So I enjoy anything to do with the canine. Like I said, that's like my second hobby, honestly. And that's going to hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
I'd eventually like to get into that, on a side gig, but that's another topic. But yeah, anything police related with the canine, I enjoy. If it is deployment for, narcotics or tracking and stuff like that. No bites yet. But yeah, anything that related. The FTO side, I actually really enjoy. I just like watching, like teaching them a way, like, what works for me may not work for you, but also like teach them and then just watching them learn throughout each phase. I mean, the first phase, I think I've had like one or two through first phase where they're just brand new. That's when you kind of want to like rip your hair out because they're, they're all dumb at that point. And you're just like, dude, it's really not hard. But then watching them learn, and that's great too to watch.
It's got to be kind of like, it's like raising a kid.
Oh yeah, well they're young and they want to get after. It's like, let's learn how to talk on the radio first, bud. Let's figure out where we're even going before we go.
What street are you on?
Yeah,
you don't know that? Okay.
So it's fun too, and it's stressful because, and a lot of times you just have to like, okay, is it how I'm teaching them that they're not grasping what I'm, what it's going? Because like in your mind, like, dude, it's real easy, just this way. But watching them learn, like I said, that's a blast too. And then when they do get a good, hit on a arrest warrant or an arrest or something, it's nice to see it all come together.
Yeah.
So just those two things, I'd say are like the favorite parts. And then just, even after work, I got a good group of people I can hang out with. And we do a lot of family stuff too. Like we have family functions during work, Christmas parties, stuff like that. Every retirement we get together, or we throw a big FOP union party, and seeing people even from years before still show up for it. So that's good camaraderie there. The military side, there's more like bad than good. I mean, but I think that's what makes it fun too, when you're sitting in the middle of, at our time, JRTC, you're sitting in the middle of the open field just getting rained on for hours, and you're just like, this sucks.
And then 2 days later, you'd be upset because it's hot and humid. And
yeah,
it's
not even 2 hours, like not even like couple minutes, you're just sweating. You're like, and I think that's the part that actually.
I remember sitting in a hole, looking over at you a couple times, and just laughing.
Yeah, it's
like
miserable.
Busting out laughing.
You talk about earlier, you meet some dumb people in the military, but that instance alone where we're sitting there like, hey, we have this tropical storm, tropical whatever, come and build your hooches. So we're making shelter, and then when we get done, like, all right, hey, go stand in the open field. Like, what the hell is up with this? And we're just getting rained on. You're like, why did we build this just to get rained on?
Yep.
So I would say those are the best times, really. I mean, just when crap is, you just don't think it can get worse. You just look at your buddy and you're just laughing. And then, at that time, it's the worst time ever. But when you get back to it, it's funny. Yeah. So really, the worst times are the best times.
Yeah. That's a very good point. Yeah, absolutely. I would 100% agree with that. So I guess we kind of hit the worst times a little bit with the military. Do you have any with the policing side?
Police side, nothing terrible. Nothing like the bigger CC where like line of duty deaths and stuff like that. I don't like to deal with anything with like, I guess you say like kids or like custody or anything of that nature, because they're innocent. They don't have a say so, and they're just kind of, they're vulnerable to a lot. So anything with kids really.
Yeah. So everyone kind of has that point in their life where they can kind of point like, yeah, that's what made me want to be a cop. What was yours?
I don't know. Like I said, with the military side, my grandpa was in, World War II and stuff like that. So I've always loved that side. So I always knew I was going to join at some point, some branch So I always knew I was going to go that path. Police, I don't really know. I think I just,
Fell into it.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I've always liked it. I've always enjoyed
Yeah.
it and stuff like that. At one point I was actually looking more like DNR route, conservation. But like I said, I enjoy the hunting side. So, but I don't really know how I ventured. Well, I guess, talking about it, looking back, I had a recruiter, actually my first recruiter in the Marines. He was talking about going marshals, and he would explain like what they would do. So I kind of actually at first was going to go to the Marine Corps and then try to go on the marshal side. So I'd say at that point I kind of had an idea that I was going to go into law enforcement. I just didn't know what route really.
I was just thinking about our time at JRTC. Did you go to? I don't think you went to that training mission before, the year before XCTC.
No, that was the year before I got in.
Yeah. JRTC was terrible. I mean, we trained up and we did all this training and stuff, and then we get there, and we walked around the woods for like what, a day or two.
Oh,
Like we got into what they called the box.
I remember sitting in a hole for 8 days.
Yeah, so we walked around for like 1 or 2 days, and I remember we attacked a village or something, and then like right after that we walked up this hill and stopped here, and we were there for 8 days. We dug
and then
holes.
I think was that before when the cook was driving us and ran over sea wire and just locked up our 7 tons.
Yep. So we didn't have supply chain. For a little bit.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, JRTC, it's what's it stand for?
Joint Readiness Training Center.
Yeah. And basically you go there before you deploy. Well, they sent our unit there whenever we deployed, and it basically helps you fine tune your skills, I guess. But they put you in this thing called the box with your company, and there's adversaries around the box that you go and you notionally fight in them. And our time at JRTC was very uneventful but eventful, because we didn't get attacked once, I think.
No,
in the
no,
mid-days.
I don't think we did. And then that wasn't that time. I was thinking, did someone get bit by like a black widow or something? But that was this last group when they went to like Columbia.
Yeah, they went to Columbia. Yeah, we didn't have anything too crazy at JRTC. We went to, what was after that? We went to
to
Mississippi? No, Singapore. The next year we went to Singapore, right?
Yeah, for 2 weeks.
We went to Singapore for 2 weeks. That was actually kind of fun.
That was. It was different.
Food. And then, it wasn't bad. They actually let us go out in the town a little bit too, so that was kind of cool. Get to see the different stuff. And it was kind of a crazy event trying to round up all the guys at the end of the night. But, and then we went to...
And then it was Mississippi. That was for a month.
Yep. And then we deployed. Supposed to go to Afghanistan. Ended up in Kuwait for, 3 months?
I was thinking it was like I'd say month, 2 months probably. And then Bahrain for however long. And then Jordan for about a month and a half, 2 months.
I think Bahrain was my favorite. I think I would have liked Jordan if we would have been there, but Bahrain, like I got to do some cool stuff, though. Like I kind of got out. I didn't have to sit on post all the time, so that was kind of cool.
It wouldn't have been too bad, but that was when height of COVID, so everything was shutting down. And
oh yeah, every country we went to, we had to sit. What was it? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks in mandatory isolation. We had to do that in Kuwait too. You remember that? Like right at the end of Kuwait, the one group left.
We didn't go back to Kuwait.
No, like before. So like the one group went ahead to Bahrain.
Yeah.
And we were stuck in Kuwait. And one of those guys, whenever they were going into Bahrain, tested positive for COVID. So they quarantined the rest of the company. And we were in like this razor wire and stuff for 2 weeks.
Well, then
or
they had
whatever.
that incident in Bahrain where they just lost. Remember Johnson? Where they just lost all his information. Like, we don't even know if you've been. He's like, I was here. And they had to re-quarantine for like a month.
Yep. They sent him to a hotel. That'd be terrible. So that kind of enlightens people on how disorganized the military can be.
It's controlled chaos, is what it is. It's 100% just controlled chaos.
Oh man! Luckily, most police departments are better than that.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah. Well, John, thanks for coming on.
Yep, thank you.
You want to say anything to the wife and kids?
Thank you for letting me come here. And like we said earlier, she has to get them to and from basketball practice tonight. So, and Daddy loves you.
Thanks for coming on.
Yep, thank you.